Oh, hello, and welcome to another today's Decay, celebrating births and beginnings of everything important since the dawn of time. September 21st edition. Here are all the dates they really rate. On this day in 1866, H.G. Wells was born, author of many a good book, such as The Invisible Man here. This is a 1933 printing, a photoplay novelization of his original novel. So that's to say it came out at the time that the Claude Rains, James Whale production came out, and it's filled with stills from the movie itself, a promotional tie-in, so you can take it home and relive the movie from the comfort of your own home or on your commute on the subway, to and from your job, whatever. Because otherwise these things didn't make it back into the movie theaters, and there was no television or way to watch things over again. So like the novel with stills from the film were the only way to like replay it, you know? Should it be something you want to do? Yeah. Similarly, here's his Island of Dr. Moreau from 32, which sort of kind of ties in. I believe it was the movie tie-in, but some of them they like skimped on photos, and they would just be like the dust jacket art, which sadly this one's missing. So this would be the Charles Lawton 1932 Island of Dr. Moreau, co-starring Kathleen Burke and Bela Lugosi in a supporting role. Yeah. Right, what else? Oh, The Time Machine. Always had time for this movie. Here's the 1960s George Powell paperback photoplay of it. Here you've got some Morlocks and what's his name on the cover? Right on the back. Rod Taylor. Should have known that. Should have known that. Yeah. Anyway, it's always a good day to celebrate Jules Verne, who was basically writing at around the time that H.G. Wells was born, science fiction like half a century prior, and 1860s, I don't know, so at least a generation, if not two generations before H.G. Wells was writing. And the reason I say that is because while I think that H.G. Wells, a lot of his content got adapted really well, you read the actual novels and it's like so dated, or you say it's dated because the time they grew up in, where like they're going to talk about like phrenology or the shape of one's face or the details of one's lips or jaw or whatever, and it just reeks of racism and the time it would the time it was written in. But then you've got somebody like Jules Verne, who's like two generations before him, who isn't just throwing out these random asides that have nothing to do with even forwarding the story along whatsoever. He's just excited about exploring imaginative worlds and far off places, and not getting into like such weird racism that it's just like all over these books, even though like there's some great stuff in here separate from that. Like, why did you have to do that? I don't know. I don't get it. So instead, my suggestion on H.G. Wells' birthday is to crack open this book, which is really good. Jules Verne's Paris in the 20th Century. This was not published at the time he wrote it. It was considered too dark and depressing by his publisher at the time, and so it was shelved, and it wasn't found. It didn't make the light of day until like his great-great-great-great-grandson or somebody like that in his family found it in a vault and was like, what is this manuscript? And it turned out to be his like unpublished novel, Paris in the 20th Century, which was written in Paris in the 19th century, in the 1860s, but taking place in the 1960s. And it is unflinching and incredibly forward-thinking. And if sci-fi is your high, give this one a try. Yeah. Take that, H.G. Wells. Toyin, born today in 1902. Transgender Czech cubist, I believe, who then went on to work in surrealism and a bunch of the other isms and all sorts of interesting stuff. Definitely check out Toyen, Toyen. Super cool stuff. Chuck Jones, born today, 1912. Warner Brothers Looney Tune animator in the mid 20th century, of which, you know, was responsible for some of the best Looney Tunes out there. Is this the height of our Western civilization? Is like mid-century Looney Tunes? I'm just asking these questions. I'm asking the hard questions. It's for you to search within and come to that conclusion yourself. But the answer is yes. So there you go, the whole day, September 21st. From me to you. Till tomorrow. Goodbye.